Hello, everyone.
Hello. How's it going?
Good here. How are you?
Good. We got a bunch of snow. Fortunately, we still have power.
You
A lot
did?
of people don't. Yeah, a lot. Like
Wow.
my parents' trees in their backyard. Look at my hands. They just.
I know. The
Um,
invisible elf.
Now I'm gone. My parents' trees in their backyards. They lost branches because there was
Yeah.
so much snow, which is unusual for
My
me.
goodness. You're being a little disruptive over there, Alan.
Yeah, sorry. It's my dad sending pictures of the trees.
Of the snow.
So,
Well, it's bright and sunny here in Chicagoland, and it
I
is
know.
48 degrees. It's so weird for you to have winter weather, and it's so weird.
Give it back.
Huh?
Give it back.
I know. I'm sorry. And we'll get your weather soon, I'm sure.
Yeah.
At some point.
Well,
thanks Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we've got a nice little bunch of people here.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I see some regular dating people out there. And I really hope that nobody's out there hoping that I will be giving them tips on finding their future spouse.
That's not what we're doing?
Not what we're doing.
No.
Instead, we are going to show you how to find dates on all these profiles that got loaded up into WikiTree years and years ago that don't have dates on them. Some of them don't have locations. Some don't have names.
Guilty.
Yeah. But it's possible to track this stuff down. So, and if you can't, there's also something you can do for that. So, shall we get started?
Let's get started.
All right. Well, I'm going to do the tunnel of infinity here. Hold on. There's Eowyn and I, and Eowyn and I, and Eowyn and I. So I'm going over here now. Are you seeing the WikiTree Friday date night space page now?
I see it.
Okay, cool. So this is a good starting point for if you're going to work on the dates. There's always a monthly post out in G2G. We started going monthly several months ago, and we kind of have a theme every month. So this month we are celebrating, of course, WikiTree's anniversary, and I suggested that anybody that you want to work on, any other WikiTreeer's name is a good place to start. If you have somebody that you're friends with or you admire, plug their name into WikiTree Plus. I'll show you how to do that real quick. But I gave you the list of the team names out here if you don't have anybody that you want to start with. So I know people have been working on these. So let's go look at Abby. And really all this is going to do is it's going to find profiles in the database that don't have a birth date. In other words, B0 here.
Julie?
They don't have a death. Yes?
Can you zoom in a little bit?
Yeah, I'll try.
There you go.
Can you see that better? Okay.
Yeah, maybe one more.
Okay.
Yeah,
Better?
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I'm in the text search, or in the search part, not in the suggestions part. So we're just looking for profiles here that don't have a birth date, B0, don't have a death date, D0. They're orphaned. They have an open privacy setting, and somewhere on the profile they have the name Abby. If you want to learn more about the different parameters that I have in the text box here, you can click on this green question mark and it will open up the help page for you. But we're not going to do that right now. I know there's probably a lot of profiles with Abby, so I have the max set to 5,000. So I'm just going to click Get Profiles. And I find, oh, there's only 29. That's awesome. So there's a bunch of profiles listed out here that have the name Abby. This one's actually Abby Renfrew Lanarkshire in Scotland. So anywhere that Abby shows up on the profile, you're going to get it in this list. And they'll all be orphaned and they'll all be open. So that's one way to find profiles to work on. And that's the way a lot of people start, is they'll go out to the monthly G2G post and start from there to get some ideas. Another way to start is to go back to our free space page. And I've got a bunch of stuff set up here. When is Friday date night? Every other Friday we try to do. We're a little off with our schedule right now because of vacations and holidays and stuff like that. But our next one will be this Friday if you'd like to join us. And then, how do you find a profile? I've got the Data Doctor reports linked out here for all the different dateless suggestions. So we're going to just go look at the first one here. No dates on the relatives, and the profile is open. So it'd be easy for you to get in there and work on it, in other words. And I'm just going to walk through some steps that I normally walk through when I start working on these. And I hope that it will help anybody who's interested in doing this get started. And as you go along, you'll find your own little favorite ways of doing things. So this is just how I do it, and hopefully it will help you get started. So when I click on the Data Doctor report, it brings me into the suggestions, and it's got suggestion 131. And I can limit this search to a region, a name, whatever in the text box. So I'm going to put in Illinois because I live in Illinois. And then I'm going to click on Find Suggestions. And it'll give me a list of profiles. Whoops, you don't want to see my calendar, right?
I do.
They're all open, or most of them should be. I like to work on orphaned ones because that means nobody's going to ever take care of that. The ones with profile managers, they might get back to that at some point, but I know the orphan ones, it's less likely that somebody will work on those. So let's go look at Harry Dworkovitz. Harry has a wife. Harry has children. Harry has a dad, but we do not know his name. So we are going to start. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to clean up the GEDCOM mess in here. Those are always so satisfying to clean up, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Love that button.
Huh?
I love that button.
I know. And actually, when you do that, it helps you figure out if there might be something helpful in here. So there's some alternate names. Harry Dworkin. I'm going to leave that as a research note. I might format it a little differently. That's just so I know if I have to search for him a little more, I can use those alternate names. This section I don't need. I see he was probably created from this Ancestry profile, and there's a marriage record for him.
Awesome.
So let's look at, I always do the preview first, it's just habit. Oh, I don't know what happened to that. Anyway, okay. It already put an explanation in for me. I'm going to save that. So when there's already a record listed, good place to start. It ensures that you're going to be working on the same person the profile was intended to be created for. So we see that we have Harry. He married Leona in Cook County. They were married in 1949. So I can kind of guess at his age. Maybe this is a second marriage. Huh?
Ish.
Yeah, because what if he was married before and Leona's his second wife? We don't know. What if they got married late? They were late bloomers. Mm-hmm. So one thing you can do is if you have Sorcerer installed, I highly recommend it. If you need more information on that, tell us in the comments and we'll make sure that you know how to find Sorcerer. I'm going to have Sorcerer check family search for me to see if I can find any profiles out there that match Harry.
What did you click on to do that?
I clicked on, okay, I'm on the Ancestry record page, and I clicked on Sorcerer.
Uh-huh.
And then I clicked on family search. Because it'll take the information that's in this record and it'll go search over here. So it filled in his name, his marriage date, and his wife's name. And I see that we have Harry in New York, born in 1905. We don't know if that's the same Harry. His name's pretty unique, so it could be.
Could be.
He was 20, so he was born in 1905. That would be kind of a late marriage date for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We see Harry in 1950 in Kansas City. We know he got married in 1949. Is he with his wife here? No. The plot thickens. We see a Harry Dvorkovitz in Find a Grave. Don't yell at me, you guys. I'm going to find a grave.
Julie, why?
I know. We don't know if this is the right Harry. I'm going to say no. He was born in 1893, so that's not the right guy.
Seems unlikely.
Probably not. It could be. My dad got married again when he was like, I don't know, how old was he? 75 or something?
It's true.
The problem with Harry is that we don't know how old he is when he got married, and we don't know who his parents are. So this isn't terribly helpful. Let's try this. I'm going to go ahead and do a citation, and I'll come back over here and I'll put Harry's birth or marriage date in to Leona. Let me do that a different way. Marriage date. November 21st, 1949 in Cook County. Let's try this. Boy, I can't type this morning. I'm confident. It's certain and not certain. Okay, so we've got that going for us. Another little bit of information. We know he died in Chicago.
Yep.
So that, another place to search for a record. I'm going to guess he was born in the 1920s. You think that's reasonable?
Does his wife have a date?
Nope.
No,
nothing.
She's got nothing.
She doesn't. Yeah, not a thing. Here, let's clean up hers too. Do we have any sources for her? Just her marriage record. I'm gonna leave that for now, you guys. I don't want to take up more time. But we could search for her, Leona Gross, Leona Dvorkovitz. So let's go to family search. I always like to try and find, a lot of times people will have created a profile for this person on the family search tree, and they'll have attached sources, and then you can go out and check the sources, make sure they match up, or they have created a profile on Ancestry. And again, you could go out and check and see if they've added sources, make sure everybody matches up. You might be able to find their parents, which will help you find census records, and so on and so forth. So I have Leona Gross in 1940 in Wisconsin. She was born in Wisconsin. She was in Chicago. That could certainly be her, right?
What's the husband's last name?
Dvorkovitz. DWORKOWITZ. So let's go look at this record for Leona. Oh, she doesn't have a profile. Of course. Let's see. Let's go to collections. Illinois. I'm looking for marriages. I don't see any. This isn't going very smoothly, is it? But let's look.
This one was only 2 years old when she died, so I guess that's not the right person.
That's probably not her. I'm going to narrow my search to Cook County. As you can see, you guys, searching for records for these is not easy, but just keep plugging away and you will find them. We have Leona, who has a tree here. She's connected. So let's go see if this is, oh no, that's Grace. Well, shoot. Well, we're going to look at her anyway. Not the right spouse. Leona Gross here. Attached to the same person. That's not her. Well, it would sure be nice to find her, wouldn't it?
It would. It's a mystery.
All right. Well, maybe I picked the wrong profile. Sometimes this is going to happen. Now, what you can do is if you look down the list here, I thought Harry would be easier because he has such a unique name. So let's go see if we can maybe find him in Ancestry again. Aha. Marriage, residence, Kansas City. What?
Oh. Okay.
What'd you find?
I'm a dork. I was searching for her in Google, and I saw his name and her name and their kid's name, and I was really excited, and I clicked on it, and it was the WikiTree profile.
Okay, so I found a clue. I found their wedding announcement in a Kansas City newspaper.
Oh, interesting.
So we know that they got married in Chicago, but now I know that her mother's name was Essie. And she's in Chicago, and she announced the marriage of her daughter to Harry he lives in Kansas City. So let's go back. Excuse me. They got married in Chicago, but maybe they went back to live in Kansas City. So maybe we can do some census searching in Kansas City in 1950. Because they got married on December 4th, 1949. Let's go to the 1950 census. I hope I'm not boring you all to death. You're probably all sitting there going, go look here.
Yeah.
No people in Kansas. Well, maybe they're in Missouri, not Kansas. Nope. Okay, here's my second approach. Here's what I like to do. Instead of using the family search thing, I will go to the beginning and start searching. Oops. I cannot type. Did I spell that right? No. DWRKOWITZ. So I'm just going to search the 1950 census for that last name. I'm going to look for people who are living in, didn't say Kansas City, Kansas, or Missouri, did it? Probably Missouri.
Mm-mm.
So we'll do that. There's Leona Dworkowitz. And there's Harry. Why are they not living together?
In which year?
Huh?
Are you looking at 1950?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I found her in the 1950, but yeah, it says she's married, but she's living by herself.
Well, I have a spoiler alert. I looked at this earlier and I tried to fix it. She is, here, let's go look at her record. She's in the census and she's not indexed properly. I tried to fix it, but I don't know if it fixed or not. Yeah, it did. It took away that relationship. It had her connected to the wrong husband. Can you guys see this? Here she is. She's in household 433, and it had her connected to this guy above who is in a different household as her husband. So I edited the census listing and removed that relationship. So she's here. She's married. It says she was born in Indiana, and she's working as a secretary in an insurance company.
Yeah.
So I do not know why. I mean, this is like 6 months after they got married, 5 months after they got married. She's living here. And Harry, let's go back here, is also living in Kansas City. And I bet this is a second marriage because he's 56. And they're not living together. So let's see what he's doing here. I haven't looked at this one yet. This is just trying to piece together these guys. It's hard when we find these ones that don't have dates or much in the way of locations. So he is in household 515. Persons transcribed from, what does that say?
I can't read it.
Let's see if it gives his occupation. Maybe he travels. No, it doesn't give his occupation.
What's the address?
I can't read it. Transcribed from something. Is anybody yelling in the comments? It says.
No.
Some of you guys are really good at looking at this stuff. So he's in Jackson County, Missouri, Kansas City, and it doesn't give us an institution name or anything, so I'm not sure. I think we found them.
What the address was.
Yeah, I can't read it. But I think we found them. I think, doesn't this make sense that this would more than likely be them?
Yeah, I think so.
So if it is, he was born in 1894 and she was born in 1906.
Well.
So that could happen.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else that fits the bill here in Kansas City. Our other option is let's take Missouri out and put Illinois in because they got married in Chicago, so maybe they stayed there. Cook County. There's Leona. I did put Illinois in here for the residents, right? And look, Leona's showing up in Kansas City. That's weird. All right, so kind of what we have here right now is a hint that Harry was born in 1890 something. So at this point, I would close everything. I'm going to go back and do another search in Ancestry. And I am going to put his birth date in 1894. And then I'm going to take the father's name off because that's not helpful. And I'm going to search again. Ah, here's his death. Here's a death announcement. And look, there's his wife's name.
Nice.
So we've got the right guy. He was living in Kansas City, and he died 2 years after they got married.
Aww.
Almost exactly. That's terrible.
That's sad.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we've got the right people. I could go back and fill all this in, and then Harry would be dated. And I could start working from that to figure out dates for the kids. Because we don't know if they are Leona's children. I'm going to guess no, because she was so young. Or I mean, they were older when they got married. So it could be from his first marriage. So I'm going to file this one away and come back and work on it later. So let me use, I have a little tool here that I use to save my tags for later, or my tabs for later. So anyway, that's another way to get started. I picked the hardest category of reports to work from. Let's go to a 133. No dates, with dates on relatives. Makes it a lot easier. Going back to Illinois. Good heavens. Okay. We have Mrs. Mary Margaret Unknown.
Yeah.
But we know her married name, and we know she has dates on her relatives. Oh my goodness, this is not a good place for me to be. She was born in 1680 something, probably, or maybe 1690s or whatever. Yeah. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I don't like working in this area. But we can go look and see if there's a profile for her out here on Ancestry. Yeah, I figured it was probably too old.
Amanda said Harry might have been like in a hospital or care facility. It's kind of what I was
thinking.
Thinking.
Yeah, that's a very good suggestion, Amanda. Good job. So I'm not going to work on Mary while you guys are watching. We'll find somebody else.
Oh, come on.
I know. I'm so boring. I'm trying to find somebody with a tree. Good Lord. Let's find somebody that has a fun date to work on. Here we go. These are not fun dates. But look, I have suggestions here, like ideas for where he might be. We have 46, 50, 56. So he could be in this range from 17. Well, when was his dad married? We don't know. You can find, again, you're going to want to go look at marriages here. He looks like he was born about 1745. So David would have been born after that, more than likely. And that can give you some ideas on what to work on. Looks like somebody has some good notes out here too. So I guess my biggest dating tip is look for all the clues that you can find. You've got to read the profile. You have to see if there are any sources listed there, and then you just start plugging stuff into the search. And if you can find a census record for somebody, you are in good shape. Wow, how come all of these are... Maybe this helped. I don't think it liked my 18th century thing. Oh, come on. If Wendy's out there, she can tell me if I've got this right. Or one of you guys that likes to use WikiTree Plus a lot. Am I using the right century? Can't find it. There's a parameter that you can put in that tells you which century you're to search, and I can't find it right now.
That's okay.
Anyway, you can limit your search to stuff like that. It probably doesn't work in suggestions. It's going to work down in the other search. I just would like to find one that has better dates on it. I can't get out of this era. Shoot.
Yeah, because it is specifically querying, it looks like, for 18th century.
Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. You can, that's just another way for you to find stuff to work on. But let's go back to our monthly G2G post. Because I know that will be a little bit easier to work from. Let's go find, I just want to help you find somebody that's going to have a tree and give you some better dates. Here, we've got a kid, George Washington Poor, who was born Oh, look at somebody already sourced him.
Nice.
Yeah, so we probably have some good clues here. It's too bad they didn't go back and put the people, the parents' stuff. Let's see what's on his Find a Grave. No, nobody connected there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Massachusetts. Here's the 1880 census. That might be helpful. Except he's going to be with his wife instead of his parents. Let's see. Do we know when they got married?
Nope.
Got married in 1866. So if we could find him in the 1860 census. Meanwhile, while I'm looking for this guy, why don't you guys start throwing out some questions? George Washington IV was born in Massachusetts and died in Ohio, and he got married in Massachusetts. I think we have our guy right here. George W. Poor. And his parents in this census listing are George and Abby. We found him! So this is perfect. This is the big bonus here. George was born in 1840, roughly. I'm going to close that. And here's his dad. I can add a date to his dad. His dad was born in 1816 in Massachusetts. Oh wait, that says George Davis. What the heck? What is going on here, you guys? That must be... Okay, so that's not his dad. That's his mother's second wife. Sorry, husband. That fish my coffee up this morning. There is a family search profile for George. There's his dad. Here's his mom. We have sources. We have the Massachusetts census. His dad must have died pretty young.
Yeah.
Here's his mom and dad on his birth record. So at least we can go back over here and get his mom's info. I'm building her source citation. She was born in 1815 in Massachusetts. She is currently unsourced, but we're going to fix that. We have here. Guys, I'm not going to fix up her profile just now because I need to look at that. What do we have here? There's another source here, but I'll come back to that later and see if I can figure that out. I'm going to move this down here. This is an old profile. Based on the formatting.
True.
Okay, so she was born in 1815 in Massachusetts. She was living in Lawrence, Essex, Massachusetts. I'm going to go ahead and add that here. And we have that set up as a name study. Right now, I'm going to just put her in the county for now. Adding sources, categorization, changes from new sources, and save. So now that I have her at her date, I could go back in and start searching for her elsewhere. I could also go ahead and you know, if there is anybody here that needs to be connected to her profile, I could add that as well. I could add her second husband and find some records to support that, because that's not listed out here. So that was a really good one. We found a census record. We found Abby. Let's now that we have that, let's go look for some duplicates for her. I have a dog bugging me here. So here's what I like to do when I come in here. At this point, I've just got a long list of Abby's that might be her. I'm going to go to the regular search page where I can come down here and say only married names. Because that Poor is her married name. It's not her maiden name. I think her maiden name is Gage. I have to go back over to the family search profile to see if that looks right. Let's see, and we'll include first name variances. We probably need to have them both variant, because it looks like it could be Poor with an E on the end or Poor without an E. And we don't appear to have any duplicates for her, which is cool. Always look for duplicates. But anyway, if you got this far, you've made a lot of progress, and you can start working from there and surely be able to find more profiles sources for her. This says her name was Badger. Where did I get Gage?
No,
here. Yeah. Here, it was from this one. Again, we're seeing some discrepancies here. And we know that when we use information from other websites, we need to dive in. You're going down a rabbit hole on this one, because you need to find out why her name is given as Gage on his profile, but then it's connected here to a profile for an Abby Badger. So you got your work.
Abby G. Badger.
Yeah, I wonder if I know I saw that. I wondered if her maiden name was Badger and somebody didn't pick up on that yet.
Run away from the rabbit hole.
You're going in.
Run. No.
Take a snack. Yeah, it doesn't have her parents here or anything, but it has her married to George Davies, which was George Davis on the census record. So maybe she married 3 times.
Yeah, Amanda says Gouge was on the Find a Grave.
Yeah. So, like I said, you have a lot of clues to work with now, and you could dive in here and help Abby to become much more sourced and complete. So if anybody wants this profile, speak up now, and I'll send it to you. I'm going to go post
Amanda.
it.
Amanda says this is the fun stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So the other part of dating, I'm going to stop sharing for now. That just shows you, it's not easy. Greg Clark tried to do it during Wiki Games, and he was frustrated. And you know that Greg is very talented, so it's hard. But boy, is it satisfying once you finally get down in there. The other really great part about dating is you have a crew of people on Discord who are more than happy to help you dive in. I don't know if I can share Discord from here. Can you guys see Discord?
Nope.
I didn't think so. Let me see if I can take that out. I'd love to show you guys our Discord. Entire screen. Okay, here we go again. The tunnel of infinity. Now can you see Discord?
Yeah.
Okay. So on the WikiTree server, you're going to go over into the channels over here, way down to challenges, and you will see Friday date night listed there. I'm already there. this group of people in here, whoops, I did not mean to do that. They're awesome, and they are going to be so happy to pop if you pop in here and you're like, I want to start dating profiles, I don't know where to start, or I found this and I'm stuck. And I can guarantee you that any number of these folks out here are going to be happy to help you. We've got Kathy, we have Donna, Celia, another Kathy, we have Kathy Z and Kathy U, we have Wendy and me, and we are in here all the time. And every other Friday, we try to get together and talk about things that we have found, things that we've had challenges with. We often will have new people pop into our Zoom meeting and they don't know how to get started, and we will answer questions there, give you some tips. Sometimes we talk about the weather. Sometimes we talk about pie. It's a good social time, and it's also just a good time to learn from your fellow WikiTreeers. So, do we have questions?
There were 2.
Okay. What happens? Only profile, nothing else on it. Oh, yeah, I thank you, Anne, because I meant to show everybody that too. So what happens if you find a profile and it's excuse me, gosh, it's hopeless. Let's go look at one. Or we can even pretend that there's one. Actually, I have a better idea. Let's say that David, we're going to just play here. I'm not actually going to change his stuff, but let's say, for example, that we found out that David Poor was born in 1949, which means there's a very good chance that he's still living, and you cannot find a death announcement for him. You can't find an obituary, you can't find a record or anything. In that case, let's go back. Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. I apologize. We are going to go, when you find a date, or maybe you can't, there's a little flow chart here that tells you the steps to walk through. If you think the person is still living, there are instructions to follow for that. I'm going to walk through them real quick. And we're going to pretend like David is still living. So in that case, I would go in here on David's profile. I would click still living. I would add the WikiTree admin category. And this is very important. I'm going to leave a note here that says, I can't find anything indicating this person has died. And then I'm going to sign it with my 4 tildes. So the reason we do that is because when I come in here and clear out these profiles, it really helps for me to know why you've parked it in this category, because there's like 5,000 plus profiles out there, and you might park it in there today and I might not be able to look at it for 6 months. So you need to tell me why you're putting it here and why you think they're still living. And that will allow me, I actually am able to go in here and delete these profiles for living people, because we don't want to keep them. It's a privacy issue. So if you find profiles for living people, you have instructions on the free space page for what to do with them. If you can't find a date and there's nobody connected to them, let's take that route too. Well, that's not a good, I don't know how to find somebody who's not connected here. Somebody can give me over here, connected, unconnected. Oh, but she still has people.
Hang on, I got one for you.
Okay. It's okay. I wasn't sharing my screen anyway.
I put it in the chat, private chat.
Okay, got it.
There's parents, but everybody's unknown.
Oh, perfect. I love that. It's like, how did they even come up with the dates?
Right?
Let's think all the way back to 1720. We don't have anybody.
Unknown.
So you are welcome to park these in the category 2, except if this one has a profile manager. So we don't really know what the deal is here. Here you could find it. You could find these. There's kids here. You start with William Jarrett. All you have to do is work your way back and find his dad's name. There's his mom.
Right. Here.
Come on, Eowyn. Got another one?
Mm-hmm.
This one, all the people who date stuff are looking at this one and going, oh, that's a piece of cake. Okay, yeah, this is great. Except husband, male unknown, wife is Maud Riley. There's another clue. We can go look for Maud. They got married in 1896. I seriously doubt if he was born in 1883, if that's true.
Okay, just pretend there's not any information on there.
Okay, so if there's none, but do you have one with a name, maybe?
I'm just going through the ones that Pam sends me.
Oh, gotcha. Let me go here again. Sorry, you guys. I didn't want that. I want to find one that has a name and doesn't have anybody connected to it. Well, we're going to pretend this one doesn't have anybody connected to it. So if you find somebody, let's pretend like her parents and siblings, or her dad and her siblings are not listed over there, and we just find Julie Eden Ting. We could go and do a search for matches. Of course, we're not going to find anybody with that name because Ping is not exactly run of the mill. Only names at birth. Only last name. Let's see. Exact matches. Yeah, we can't find anybody. But let's say we did. We found another profile for a Julie Ping out there. If there was nothing on this profile, there's no dates, no locations, no profile manager, and we're pretending like these links over here are not there. If there was nothing else on here and I found another profile with the same name, I can set up a merge for them. If you cannot find any, if you can't find a match, you can go out and find records for somebody with that name and just go with that. Find somebody that is going to have a lot of records, and you are welcome to take a profile that doesn't have any other connections. These are gone, remember, but has the same name, and you can start building out that family using that name. I hope that makes sense.
It does to me.
Okay. Does to you? And again, if you're not sure about any of this, if you find something like that and you're not quite sure, come in the Discord channel and ask, or go out on G2G and ask on the post that we put up every month. That's another good place to get help. If you post there, then I'll get notified, and either I can help you or one of the other people who likes to do this can come out and help you guys. So that's dating. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, but it is very, very gratifying. Got any more questions? Wait, is there one more?
Yes, if you do it fast, because I have about 3 minutes, then I have to leave.
Okay. Oh, Sven wanted to know, when would you put an estimated date birth banner. Well, anytime that you don't have a source to back up the estimated date that you put in there, if you're just going based on like a relative's date that is sourced, like for instance, we thought that Harry Jerkovitz was married in 1949, so we were guessing maybe he was born about 1925. If we put that on there, then we would add the estimated date, birth date banner on that profile, because we wanted to make sure that people really dive in. And as we found with him, that wouldn't have been accurate. Mm-hmm. So you just have to keep your searches broad to make sure that you're picking up everybody. Anybody else? Is that it? I hope I helped. I see a lot of our regular daters out here, but maybe somebody's going to pop in and see this later. And if that's the case, oh, I see another question. How is that different from an uncertain flag? That's a wonderful question. The banner, if you put an estimated date template that creates the banner, it'll put it into a category for whatever the date is that you're estimating. And then people who like to work on those will go out there and grab it at some point and work on it. So it's a big difference between an uncertain flag. And you would certainly want to click on the uncertain flag too, if you're putting an estimated date on there. So do both things. So thank you guys for being here. Please come and join us tomorrow. We're going to meet on Zoom. I've got all the information out there on that WikiTree, or on the G2G post. And I hope we get to see some new faces. You're up for a challenge. We're here to help.
Thanks,
Are we
everybody.
done?
I think we're done.
Okay, I hope this is going to work. It's going to say goodbye for us. Thanks for being here, you guys.